Welcome everybody to our webcast today. The reason that we're putting together this webcast is because we want to make sure that our community is set up for success for those that have turned to an online offering. Probably thinking about it, we should have done this about 9 months ago when we were getting, like 1,000 phone calls a day of people going, I don't know what to do, I've got to go online. But I think at that point we were sorting ourselves out as well. So, but here we are, sort of like 10 months later. And I think in the first lockdown, people sort of thought, look, I'm just going to make do. This is only going to last a couple of months and then we'll all be back to normal. And then obviously since then, across the country, we've been in and out of lockdown. And now here we are, all of us again in this hopefully last one. And I think the time has come where a lot of people have realised that this could potentially be a permanent offering for them, or it might be part of a hybrid offering with face-to-face as well. So we have teamed up with Stuart Wilkinson, who I'd like to introduce you to here from Sound Dynamics, Managing Director of Sound Dynamics. Stuart has been in the industry for a very long time, and we've worked with Sound Dynamics for many, many years. So you have no doubt come across Stuart in your path anyway. But we thought now would be a good time to speak to Stuart and to get some advice for those that have maybe not invested in setting themselves up with a permanent offering of online, or who have been making do but now realise that if they're going to compete with the bigger boys, we've got to look at Apple Fitness coming in, Peloton's lifting their game, making more offerings, and also a lot of instructors that have just invested in putting on a really professional show. And so, everybody needs to do the same if we want to stay in there. So no better person to talk to and help us with this but Stuart. So Stuart, thank you for your time today and thank you for joining us.
Pleasure. Thanks for asking me to come on.
Oh, pleasure. I'm going to dive straight in with the questions that we've received, because we put a question out on Facebook to our community, just asking them if they had any problems, or asking them even what they were using and what was working well. And we got a lot of the same sorts of questions back. So I've sort of tried to put them all together in clumps here, and I'm sure by the bandwidth of your answers, we'll probably nail them all. But one that I found was quite interesting, which I think a lot of people potentially find themselves in right now, was the question that we had from Gemma. And she said, in the first lockdown, I just waited it out, as I think many people did. But now I can see that to get back into the game, I need to get online. As my income has been reduced and I can't afford a lot of new equipment to get set up online, what are my options?
Okay. Well, I think overall, a lot of the time, people think that the kit that will change the way they're doing it is a lot more expensive than what they first think. So literally 20 minutes ago, we had a lady phone up who she thought she had to spend hundreds of pounds. She was been told that round about £1,000 that she needs to spend, when the price in reality was 150 quid, 100 quid to get it up and running. So it does depend on which way around you want to do it, and it depends on how much you want to spend. There tends to be 3 options overall. The first option doesn't really work particularly well, and it's basically just playing your music from the background, from a speaker that you might already have, and almost then trying to shout over the music. The problem with that is that the tiny microphone in your laptop or your webcam or your iPad or whatever is going to struggle to pick you up from a distance, particularly when you're then playing the music and trying to talk and do a fitness class all at the same time. So the general phrases people use when they try and do that is that it sounds like they're underwater, or it sounds like they're falling down a hole, or it's just kind of playing in the background and it's not particularly great. But some people can get away with it if they've got a room they've got particularly decent acoustics, then it might just about work and they might just get away with it. The second option is to play your music actually from your laptop, and you can go into Zoom, for example, and share computer sound. So you hear the sound coming from your laptop and you share it to your class members and they hear it pretty clear through their laptop or their iPad or phone, whatever they're listening to it on. they then usually say that the music is so good that they can't hear your voice anymore. So then by using a headset microphone along with a little mixer, that kind of then feeds their voice into their class, and they can then hear the music that you're sharing to them, and then hear your voice coming through from your headset microphone. In that case, you just basically need a headset and ideally a little mixer. The most popular mixer is 50 quid, and our most popular headset mic system is about 120. So again, not particularly expensive, and you get a nice clear voice coming through and nice clear sound. You can go cheaper with the mic, you can go more expensive, but that gives you a good package overall. That's kind of package 2, then option 2. Option 3 is to use the mixer and a headset and then plug your phone into the mixer for your music as well. The mixer then feeds the music from your phone and your voice from your headset down into the laptop and out to your fitness class so that everyone can hear the music and your voice really clearly. That's probably the best way of doing it, because going back to option 2, sharing the computer sound, because your laptop is doing quite a lot of work. You've probably got iTunes open, or you've got a music folder open, and you're sharing the sound, and you've got Zoom open. Your laptop's working quite hard, and your internet connection could be at its maximum, and then that's when you get some kind of lagging and glitching issues. Whereas doing it with a mixer and your phone, all you've basically got on your laptop then is Zoom open. You're taking the pressure off your internet connection, the mixer's doing all the work, and the mixer will then feed your voice and your music clearly through to your online class. So same mixer, $49.99. You could go for the same headset, $119, and then a couple of cables to plug your phone in, have a little speaker so that you can hear the music nice and clearly. So for between 150 and 200 quid, you could have a really nice setup.
Okay, yeah. And you've actually answered a couple of other questions that have come up here. And one was them around sounding like they're underwater.
Yep.
And you're saying that if that is a problem, we can presume that they are just literally playing music from the room that they're in. And it's difficult for the laptop or whatever they're using to be able to pick that up. So if that is the problem, really the only way to overcome that is by a small investment to try and get good sound. I mean, let's face it, sound is so important to us as group exercises.
Yeah, I mean, the laptop microphone or even a webcam is designed to pick you up from, like we're doing now, sitting right in front of it, and it picks your voice up. If you lean back, you're farther away, so then you have to talk a bit louder. If you then stand 2 meters away, and then you start playing your music, and then you start jumping around doing a fitness class all at the same time, then it gets a bit too much. It's just picking up general noise in the room. If someone knocked on the door or your dog barks, it just picks up anything. Your feet on the ground, anything in the room, and then because you're at such a distance, then it can sound like you're underwater or you've fallen down a hole or
in a tunnel. All those things. We've all been there.
Yeah.
And does that apply to if it's lagging? Is that the same thing? Is that the same problem?
No, lagging is usually caused by, like we said, option 2 really is when you're sharing the computer sound from Zoom. So you're playing the music from your laptop, sharing the sound to your class members, and because your laptop and your internet connection is doing a lot of work then, numerous programs open at the same time, sharing from one to another program, uploading you or streaming you live video and music all at the same time. Your laptop's kind of maxed out, your internet connection is maxed out, things start to struggle and lag and glitch, and that's when you get the lagging issues.
And I imagine, I mean, as the instructor, you might have, great bandwidth with your Wi-Fi, but the people watching you could have very different bandwidths. Is that going to make any difference?
Yeah, very different bandwidth, and also what they're listening and watching you on at their end. So,
Yeah.
you could have someone with full-on surround sound TV, compared with someone with a 4-year-old phone leant up against a vase on their breakfast bar.
Yeah.
But I suppose from an instructor point of view, all you can do is give them the best you can.
Sure.
So, don't play your music in the background if it's not working. Don't share your music if it's lagging. Figure out the best way for you, which is usually, wearing a headset, having a little mixer, and letting the mixer do the work and feeding your voice and the music through to your class nice and clearly.
Okay, and that answers yet another question. This is just going to be one question in the end, which is around wearing a headset. So you would say yes, that's the way to go.
Yeah, again, you can probably get away with a handheld mic on a stand, or we do a little boundary microphone, which is like a flat microphone to pick your voice up, which is okay for, say, yoga or more of an educational class where you're kind of facing the screen and it's picking your voice up. But the minute you start turning your head and moving around and jumping about, then the headset will always pick your voice up perfectly as you move your head and turn your body. So again, the headset is the ideal way of doing it.
Yeah,
Plus, a lot of instructors have obviously already got a headset. A lot of instructors have already got a speaker. So again, the mixer links everything together. That's the middle person that links your headset and your music and your speaker to your laptop, and everything will work fine.
So let's say we have Gemma, for example, who now knows what to do. She's going to set herself up on Zoom. Once she's set up on Zoom, what's the overall best way to get set up to deliver the classes? She has her Zoom account. She's obviously done the right thing. She's got legal music. She's got her insurance. She's going to check that she's covered to be able to offer online. So she's done all those sort of technical pieces. The information that you've just given us now, is that everything that she would need to know to now get set up? Is there anything else you need?
No, I think once you've got your headset mic, ideally your mixer, probably a little speaker so that you can hear the music nicely from your end. The only other thing really is the actual quality of the picture. If your laptop camera is good enough, then bonus, that's brilliant. We do a webcam for $21.99, which is amazing value. We've been amazed with it. It's been absolutely brilliant. Or there is a way to use your phone as the camera, purely as the camera, and then use your laptop as the main login and control of everything. So tablets and phones struggle with the connection of things, so I'd always recommend you use a laptop to actually log into your various online platforms, but you can use your phone just as a camera. So I would say sound system, the sound side of things, headset, little speaker, laptop, mixer, a decent webcam for your visual, for the visual side of things, the picture, and then that's it. Like you said, good music, license free, sort your insurance out, and you're good to go.
Yeah. Another question is from JP, who has asked, can I also use my Zoom setup for other live streaming platforms like Facebook Live?
Yes, anything on Zoom, for example, there's a small menu which allows you to choose the headset microphone instead of the laptop microphone. Facebook, I believe, has also got that little menu. I think you may have to download Facebook Creator Studio. But any platform that gives you that menu so you can choose the headset, yes, you can use that same package, the headset and the mixer, for StreamYard, Zoom, Facebook, recording, YouTube, your own website, whatever you want to use it for.
Great. This next one actually made me laugh. So I thought, oh, this is like me trying to take a selfie, and my children kill themselves laughing as I almost turn myself inside out trying to fit into the camera. So the question is, what is the best way to get my full body on camera without needing too much space in my living room?
Well, unfortunately, in a way, you do need a certain amount of space to allow yourself to step back far enough from your camera. It's no good. It's no good kind of buying a webcam and then trying to teach in a tiny room and then wondering why it's chopping your head off because you're too close to it. You have got to get a big enough room. You've got to physically put your laptop and a webcam in position and then be able to stand back far enough away from it so it does pick you up. There's not really any answer. You can't stand a foot away and then expect it to pick you up. You've got to get far enough away from it.
There's no super clever, like wide angle lens.
Well,
option.
yes, I mean the £21, the 21.99 webcam gives you a 95-degree viewing area.
Okay.
There's a webcam called a Logitech Brio, which we supply. It's a lot more expensive. It's over 200 quid. You are going to the top end of the scale there with a decent webcam. But I think that one does give you, I think it's 3 different options to choose from. So if it's too close on one, you can choose another option, which will fit you in potentially better. But I still think you need good lighting. You need a decent size room. I think if you think you can buy a webcam and it just like make the room perfect and view you perfectly, it doesn't really work like that. You've got to get the lighting right, your room right, stand far enough away, get your sound right. But again, 20 quid for a webcam, 100 quid for a headset, £50 for a mixer. It's not mega expensive to get everything right.
And I mean, we can, as we are doing today, we're recording on Zoom. So get yourself set up, actually record yourself doing a session, listen back to it, where you can see, have you got good lighting? You can see, have you got good sound? So you don't go into it blind, you go into it prepared, and you can make sure that you're putting forward a professional offering.
Get a couple of people on Zoom, test it with people. Again, it's not that much different to doing a normal face-to-face class. When you ask people, can you hear the music okay? Can you hear my voice okay? Can you hear me at the back, kind of thing. It's testing it, getting used to the equipment, being patient with it. Don't think you can just open it out of the box and it just work. It will do, but you need to go into Zoom, get your settings right, which again, we'll go through all that with you. It's all free help and advice. You can give us a call. We'll sit with you on the phone. All the staff have become online specialists over the last year and a half. So it's not as if you go buy the kit and that's it, learn how to use it, that's us done. It's now we spend hour after hour after hour going through everything with everyone to make sure everyone knows how to use it properly. Great.
And that's one of the things that I just wanted to sort of maybe reinforce about this. I mean, the purpose of this webinar isn't whilst it is an amazing sales opportunity, that's not the purpose of this webinar. The purpose was that, instructors that have not got themselves set up properly, they're finding it frustrating because they don't have the right equipment and they don't know how to fix it. They're worried that they're going to have to invest a lot of money to be able to, compete with a really professional offering. And yet in talking with you the other day, as we did prior to this, it was obvious that, you don't have to make a massive investment for a relatively small price. You can be set up really, really well, offer a really professional service. And if we're going on in this way for quite some time, or even if it's something you want to also offer as well as face-to-face, then this is the way to go. My last question, which is just one for me really, and I know we're sort of running out of time a little bit, but so where do you think we're going to go from here? What do you think is, how do you think this is going to play out, this whole situation that we're in?
Well, I think last year was quite a good example of it anyway, where people was going into lockdown and then coming back out of lockdown, and then you was allowed to do outdoor classes and then indoor classes, and then we went into another lockdown, obviously. So we had people go online to begin with, and then go outdoors, and then when they went back inside again, you can do a hybrid class, which people figured out, and we helped them figure it out, where you can actually teach a normal face-to-face class with 10 people in a room, for example, but then Zoom to 20, 30, 40 people at the same time as well. So I think moving forward, I don't know what you think, but I don't think the gyms are going to open and everyone's just going to flood back into gyms again and have 50 people in the studios. I think there's going to be social distancing, I would imagine. So maybe you get 15 people on your face-to-face normal class, but then you can Zoom to the 30 people that's been turning up to your online classes as well. I think that's going to be the future, at least for the short term, and then maybe the long term as well. I mean, it's going to evolve. I think hybrid classes are going to be the way forward.
Just talking then, as you brought up outdoor, and of course we're not really thinking about outdoor at the moment, but that is certainly, you know, as soon as we start to get into spring, is going to be a relevant offering. What's a, you know, if someone wants to take their group session outdoors, is there an easy way to have great sound outdoors?
Yeah, I mean, we do little rechargeable speakers. They come with a headset. A lot of them, again, can be used with a hybrid type of approach as well. So you could even do an outdoor class whilst Zooming at the same time. With a rechargeable speaker. Your laptop is obviously rechargeable. The mixer is powered by the laptop. So with that package, you can buy a package which is completely mains free, which you could use in the garden, indoors, outdoors, online, in a studio. And just going back to what you said a minute or two ago, a lot of instructors have also got a lot of the kit and not actually realize it. So again, they'll phone up and they've like, oh, I've got an old radio mic in the loft that I've not used for ages, or yeah, I've got a little speaker in the kitchen that's got an aux input. So again, if you've got a headset and you've got a speaker, then it might be just a £50 mixer, or it might be a little adapter that we do, which will, and also, you know, selling platform, you said, we're happy to help anyone, whether they bought something from us, already got something off Amazon. You know, it's not just about us selling something to you. Just give us a call, free advice, help you out, no matter where you bought anything from.
Thank you. And I'm sure that's music, excuse the pun, to people's ears, because it's, you know, we're not necessarily you know, we might be great at delivering classes and have all the energy in the world, but when it comes to the technical side, we're not necessarily the best at that. So I think knowing that there is a support mechanism there, where if something's not working quite right, you can phone someone and they'll help, then that is great to know. So thank you for supporting our industry. I mean, obviously we're supporting you as well, but you know, this is a time when we kind of need to have each other's back, and appreciate your time, appreciate your advice, and for looking after everybody. And thank you. Hopefully we'll all get back to normal soon.
Yeah, and if anyone wants my email address, if they're not sure about anything, if they watch this, then I don't know if you want to give them my email address or tag something in. By all means, shout out if you need any help.
Do you want to just say it quickly if you've got it right there?
It's Stuart W, STUARTW at sound-dynamics.co.uk.
Too easy. Okay, Stuart, stay safe. Thank you again.
Thanks, Jane. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.